Hi there, I'm Rod Bergeron, and today we're going to do some line of wash. I'm going to start with my Sharpie pen, and let's see what we can get going here. So I'm going to start at about the 1/3 line, and I'm going to make sort of a jaggedy kind of a hill coming up like that. Another one coming across here. All right, and we're going to put like a little bit of brush across here. And we're going to put in some large pine trees here. Okay, so sort of coming up like that, back down, and keep them kind of cone kind of shaped. Something like that. We'll put a couple of more little bushes back here behind that. We're going to make a hill going up here, and in the background here we're going to put in a few fence posts just like that, and we're also going to put in a bit of a hill going up like this. On this side of this tree we're going to put in a couple of large clumps of brush like this, and then maybe one that's a little bit more jagged here. And then this is going to be in the background, but we're going to have some larger trees in the background like that. Okay, so that's all the line that you need. Just keep it simple, put in a few lines. I mean, you can go in here and double up some of these lines if you want. I kind of do that quite often to just give it a little bit more mass. And you don't have to do that everywhere, just do it in a few places. All right, so that's it. We're gonna move on to painting real quickly. So this is a 3/4 inch flat brush, and I have some blue paint that I've already set up here. And one of the things I can encourage you to do in your painting endeavors is to sort of have everything ready before you start. It'll make your life a lot easier, I can guarantee you. So, make up your paint washes. Especially if you're following along with me. I mean, you can see the colors that we're going to start off with right in the very beginning. So I'm going to put, this is going to be some yellow ochre across here. And I'm going to go right to the pan and pick up some more yellow ochre, and I'm going to put it in fairly intensely across there like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this hill. Okay, so again, this is wet on dry, so the paint is going to stay exactly where you put it when you work wet on dry. I'm not going to rinse this brush out. I'm going to go right here into my sienna. I'm going to mix this in with this sienna, and I'm going to come across here like this. 2 strokes with the sienna. I'm going to go back in, pick up some more sienna that's a lot more intense. I'm going to go across there like that with it. And I'm not going to do any more than that in that area, okay? I want this to be a green hill back here, so I'm going to just go to my, this is some sap green I have here. Just pick up some sap green, and I'm going to go across here like this. And I'm trying to stay, mostly within the lines that I have there. Put a little bit more sap green across there. Now these pine trees right here, I'm going to keep this color. I don't know if I can do this with this brush, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, see? All right, so that's not too bad. And I'm going to take those pine trees, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of blue and put a little bit of blue across the bottom of those. And while I have it, I might as well put a little bit of blue across there too, just to give it some visual interest, right? So we're trying to, we're trying to play with the idea of the saturation level, see what we can come up with. All right, that's pretty good. We're going to move on to some more colorful aspects of this. This across the back here is going to be very red. Actually, I was going to make this here yellow ochre too, so while we're at it, we might as well pick up some yellow ochre, put some yellow ochre across there, and see if we can't get that all sort of bleeding together. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so these are going to be very colorful, but I don't want those to bleed into the other ones right now. We're going to make this across the front here. Some red mixed in with some yellow. And I'm using a 1/4 inch brush now. I'm going to put in quite a bit of paint into that, even though it's a little bit more difficult with the smaller brush to pick up a lot of paint. See what we can get going there. Just tap it to release some paint into that. And then I'm going to go right to my yellow. I'm going to pick up quite a bit of yellow. I'm going to put my yellow into that. All right, and again, we're just trying to get that to bleed to wherever it is it's going to go to. I'm going to pick up some of this yellow and some of this green. We're going to go across here to these bushes right here. That's quite a bit of paint. I didn't really mean to pick up that much paint, but that's okay. I'm going to take a tissue and I'm just going to dry that like that and extract some of that right out of there. Okay, just let that, now we're just going to let it bleed to wherever it is it's going to go to. Don't worry about it too much. This brush across here I'm going to make quite yellow. So I'm going to pick up this little bit of yellow wash that I have some green mixed into. And just do that to it. If it picks up some of the surrounding color, that's perfectly fine. In other words, if the red bleeds into the yellow, or the yellow bleeds into the red, into the greens, whatever, that's perfectly fine, right? There, that's turned out pretty nice. Okay, so across the back here, we want an orangey kind of a color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in a lot of this yellow across here, like this. I'm gonna try to get close to that, but not touching it, okay? Put that in there, maybe a little bit more. Now I'm just gonna touch this with some red, just like that. And we're not gonna do too much more than that to it. See how those colors all start to swoop out of there? That's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it too much. We're gonna put a little bit of salt across the top here. We're gonna put a little bit of salt across here. All right, now we just gotta let it dry and see what happens. All right, I think this turned out pretty nice. Let's have a look at it. The sky is pretty good across there. And this salt, look what the salt has done to these fields and a couple of places in these trees and stuff. This area right here is where I just touched that blue after doing the sky. I just touched it into that green of that tree, and you got this really cool dark effect across the bottom, which was what I was hoping for. This red bleed into this yellow ochre, a little bit of the green blew into the yellow, bled into the yellow ochre. Our little fence in the background looks pretty good. Let's see what happens when we put our mat on it. Yeah, that's pretty nice, right? I'd like to know what you think of it. Let me know in the comment section. I'd also love to know where you're from. If you could drop me a comment, let me know where you're from. I'd really appreciate that. And I'm trying to include some of my viewers' work in a few of my videos. So here's my email address. If you'd like to send me a picture of one of your paintings, I'd love to see it. And if you just have a general question, drop it in the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching today. I hope you have an awesome day. See you again real soon.